Okay, let's talk about the third guy on the list. We're at 8, and we're on our third college left-handed pitcher. This is Liam Doyle. I think this is one of the toughest evals in the class, man. So transferred. So he's pitched at 3 different colleges in 3 years. Coastal year 1, Ole Miss year 2, Tennessee year 3. This year at Tennessee, 95 innings pitched. Let's see, what did we get? 3.20 ERA, 2.45 FIP. Just wait till we get to the strikeout rate. 42.6% strikeout rate, 8.3% walk rate. We are talking about a truly unique fastball shape that like doesn't even really exist in the majors at the moment from Doyle, and he throws it high 90s. There's a nasty slider too, but he's really much more of a 2-pitch guy. A lot of folks ding him for like having what they would call like an effortful delivery, right? Meaning there's some concern that he doesn't repeat it well, and effortful deliveries are kind of linked to like guys who have some reliever risk. So how do you navigate? And I realize this isn't the question that I wrote down, but that's what I'm going to ask you. How much do you care about someone's delivery, I guess, and then how do you shoehorn him into the top of this class of pitching, given that you might say there's more reliever risk there? We don't like what the delivery looks like quite as much, and there's kind of 2 pitches instead of like a more diverse arsenal like the other guys have.
So, I mean, I've been following the draft for quite a while, and I remember one of the first like serious pitching prospects that there was this argument about. Well, he's probably not a starter, even though he's been a starter because he's got this full of effort, violent delivery, and people were writing him off as a going to be a reliever, and that was Max Scherzer, who turned out to be
Hall of
really,
Famer.
really, really good, right? And 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 the way that Scherzer carries himself on the mound, right? Tons of emotion,
Oh,
like all of these things that you're like, can he do it? And Liam Doyle to me kind of fits under in that same type of player.
mm-hmm.
That's not to say that he's going to be a starter, but or not a starter. I just feel like that's something that if you add this quality of an arm, you're going to get you're not the floor is high, and so you may get a front end starter, you may get a high leverage reliever. That's a tougher pill to swallow at 8 through 10 or 7 through 10, where he's probably going to go.
Yeah.
But I think there's so much to like about him that's a risk that you take. Plus, it's 2025. You have the ability to get your hands on so much more data and so much more, like almost under the hood diagnostic stuff, that you're going to be a very firm believer in. Yes, I think he can repeat this delivery. Yes or no, I think that this may lead to injuries or transition to the bullpen. I'm not there yet. Obviously, I don't have that information in front of me.
Right.
But I would draft him as a starter, and I would have a hard time having a huge differentiation between Arnold and Doyle at this point.
Interesting.
I think Anderson is there's a bigger gap between Anderson and Arnold for me than there is between Anderson and Doyle, or excuse me, Arnold and Doyle.
I disagree with that. And we'll see how that shakes out on boards, but the argument that I would make is the pitchability, I guess you would call it pitchability aspect of Arnold and Anderson, I find more similar than Doyle and the other two, where Doyle, and this is not a criticism of Doyle, right? But he comes in, fire and brimstone. He's going to throw the ball hard as hell. I think there's a little bit more refinement in the other two profiles. And so I would say at the moment, Anderson 1A, Arnold 1B, a little bit of a gap, and then Doyle. And I'm really not sure how final boards are going to reflect this or how they'll end up on consensus, because we're approaching, like in the next 2 weeks, everyone updating their final boards. And what I think we're probably going to see is like a really tight clustering of these guys in kind of the 3 to 6 to 7 range. So it's probably all going to come out in the wash, honestly.